All right, we have Elijah Sarratt in the room with us. And we'll start with Mike and then go to Pete.
Yeah, Elijah, you guys have played kind of, a couple teams here like Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon with similar kind of talent-laden rosters, 5-star, 4-star guys. Curious what Oregon did specifically, maybe that stood out kind of compared to those other teams you faced.
Yeah, talent-wise, they're right there with the Ohio States, the Alabama, some of the best teams in the college football world. But they didn't do too much different. They ran a lot of man against us. When we played them, Coach Shanny was just telling us yesterday. I forget how many snaps we had, but it was like about 70% of the snaps that we were getting pressed. So that's something different than what Ohio State, Alabama, and them did, but. It's a challenge that we're going to have to face this week as well. So this whole week throughout practice, we'll be able to go against press on scout team, and hopefully we'll be ready for if they do continue to do that against us.
Yeah, hey Elijah, how much do you embrace that press coverage challenge? The man on man, the one-on-one. How much do you embrace that?
Yeah, as a receiver, you gotta embrace it. If you can't win those one-on-one matchups against press, you're not gonna really make it too far in this football world. So it's definitely a challenge going against those guys because they, Oregon got some long, athletic DBs, so it's gonna be a challenge. But it's something that I take on the challenge head on, and I want to do my best against it for sure.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Pat Forty next, and then Jim Coyle.
Hey, Elijah, my question, you guys had very few drop passes this year. Everybody coaches their receiving core, obviously, to minimize drops. Why does it work so well at Indiana?
Yeah, I really just think the time that we put in catching passes, we catch a lot during practice, and then every day after practice, I'm catching 100. All the other receivers are catching extra passes. So just building up those reps throughout the season, it really matters. And when we get in those tight situations, it's just like another day at work catching passes. So really just the time we put in after the fact, I feel like makes a big difference.
We'll go Jim Coyle and then John Talty.
Elijah, having already played Oregon, obviously a very, very talented team, are you expecting to make some adjustments or the game plan is to make them adjust to you still again?
Yeah, we'll of course make our adjustments, change some things that we maybe didn't do as well in the first game, and I'm sure they're going to make their adjustments as well. Of course, we're still going to carry over some things that maybe we did like, and same for them. But we'll see as the game starts how they want to guard us, what they're giving us, and go from there.
Hey Elijah, you're one of the guys who's been around Coach Sig the longest. Just how would you describe his personality?
You said personality? Personality's real business like real business. Like when you come into this facility, you understand that it's time to go to work. When he comes into the team meetings, you understand what he's about, what he's saying, and you believe what he's saying. But really, he's about his business, and he's about getting better every single day, and he wants to find a way to win the day every single day.
All right, next we will go to Tom Brew and then Blake Topmeyer.
Hey, Elijah, last week when we were talking with Fernando, he talked a lot about just when he got to campus, just making good relationships with everybody and getting to know everybody and such. I was wondering if you could kind of take me back to those first few early days when you first met him and what that was like and how you guys developed what you had and what, if any, role that Alberto played in that, since you sort of already knew Alberto a little bit.
Yeah, really my first time meeting him was when he came up here on this visit. They had asked me to come out to dinner with them. So it was me, him, Alberto, I think Coach Shanny, and D.O. And we had a great dinner. We clicked it off real good. He was more outgoing than I thought. I didn't really know how he was, but it made sense just because if you know Alberto's super outgoing as well. But we were cracking jokes the first time we met. He's trolling. Like both of them some big trolls, so it's kind of easy to talk to them. They're both funny, but yeah, we really clicked off well. And then as he got on campus, you could see him wanting to talk to all the guys, introduce himself to everybody, and it seemed genuine. It wasn't like he was trying to do too much, like he was stepping on everybody's toes. He was just being himself, being who Fernando is, and everybody welcomed him with open arms.
We'll go to Blake and then Zach Browning.
Hey, Elijah, what's made Indiana a good place for transfers to play at? And is there something about Coach Signetti? I mean, you've played for him at multiple places, but is there something about him that you think has allowed so many transfers to mesh with him and his style?
Yeah, first, Bloomington is a great college town, one of the better college towns in the nation. And that plays a big part of just making yourself feel at home outside of football. And then football-wise, Coach Sig, like you see the body of work that he has, you see the people that he develops. He's helped develop me. He's helped develop many other players that we have on this team. And then just seeing the success that he's had all the way from where he's been, it's something that you want to be a part of. And then you come to the campus and meet him. And what he's saying, you really believe that you can do. And the one thing I can say about Coach Sig is the stuff that you get in his office on a visit and he's telling you this and that, but it's actually true. Like you'll come, you commit, you come in, and then what he's preaching is actually what you're doing. It's not going to be easy, and he's not going to tell you it's going to be easy. He's going to tell you got to stack days, you got to be the best player you can be every single day. But you see the vision that he gives you, and you really believe that you can achieve it.
We'll go Zach Browning and then Mike Schumann.
Elijah, you caught another fade ball for a touchdown against Alabama down that sideline. What goes into developing that type of skill with those catches down the sideline for touchdowns, and how do you hone that skill?
Yeah, just really the work I put in practice, the work that we all put in practice, really just building that timing, and then knowing we knew what kind of look they were going to give us, and then we were able to, Coach Shannon called the play at a perfect time. O-line did a great job blocking, and Fernando threw a dime as usual. But we practiced that all throughout the week in practice. So really the time before the game is what allows me to go in there and make those catches look so routine.
We'll go Mike and then Jeff Rabjohns.
Yeah, Elijah, when you guys beat Oregon in October, it was the first time they had lost at home in, I think, 3 years. I'm just curious, like, did you notice the team's confidence kind of rise and almost, feel like at that point you guys could beat anybody in any situation?
Yeah, I feel like before the game we were pretty confident going into that week, just because we had a great week of prep going into it. We really believed that we belonged there before then. But yeah, winning that game, it definitely instills even more confidence just because you're playing a great team. What were they? I forget what they were at the time, but definitely top 10 team. And then being able to go on the road in a hostile environment and pull out a win in a game that was going back and forth like that, it definitely gives you a bit of confidence. But winning that game in October isn't going to do anything for us now coming up on Friday. So it's a whole new ball game. We gotta have a great week of practice to face this great team.
We'll go to Jeff Rabjohns and then Zach Osterman.
Yeah, Elijah. So I'm working on a story on D'Angelo Pons, and I'd like your take as a receiver, like specifically, like what skills, what abilities make him an elite cover corner?
Yeah. First, he's an athletic freak. Like he's super fast, 4.4 type guy, maybe even 4.3 type guy when he goes and tests. 30-something, high 38-inch vert. So off that gives you advantage already. Like even if you beat him off the line on a go route, he's able to catch up just because of his athletic ability. And then his feel for the game. Even like when I was with them my sophomore year, his freshman year, like it seemed like he was a vet out there on the field. I still tell people like outside of this facility who ask me who's one of the best corners I've been against in college, and he's one of them that I say D'Angelo Pons, like one of the first names that I say. But he's just like he's a real football guy. He's a dog. Like everything that you want in a football player is what he got. Like he may not be 6'2", the prototype corner that people now say nowadays, but just look at the tape. The tape says all you need. Like his game can travel anywhere against anybody.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we will wrap up with Zach Osterman.
Elijah, I'm guessing we've asked you about this before, but I'm curious for your perspective on Omar moving to the inside this year. He's played a lot more slot, and I know there are certain skills that are just going to kind of translate kind of no matter where you play, but that is, kind of a distinct role within the receiver group. What are the challenges of that, and how have you seen him, kind of even dating back to the spring, navigate maybe adjusting his game to be, productive from that position in the same way that he was when he was playing closer to the boundary?
Yeah, that's amazing to see someone who can start outside and just move in within a season and do what he's doing. But it definitely takes a lot. You get a lot of different looks at slot. Like, you got to read your your nickel, your linebacker, your safety that's over top, and then still see that corner in your peripheral. Blocking assignments are different in slot. You got to determine 1 high safeties, 2 high safeties. So it definitely takes a little bit more thinking, a little more adjustment than in that slot. But he's done a great job of taking it head on. He didn't complain when coach had asked him to move to the slot on me, and he did his thing, and he could continue. That's great having someone that can move in and out with us. If we go 12 personnel, he can go back to outside and do his thing. And if we're in 11 personnel, he's in the slot doing his thing. So that's someone like that. It really puts stress on defenses.
Great. Thank you, Elijah.